Alright, I'm just gonna show you what I use to do the Gargoyle's Cry event solo on Steel Path. Just a disclaimer, probably should do this in a group, it's definitely faster, but you know, if you're solo, or if you don't want to play in squads or whatever, this is what I like to use. Now, before you get into it, I know you see all these charts, like, oh my god, this is just for quality of life. That's casting speed, that's like a little bit of energy max. This is probably the most important one. It's like a mini energize. This is like none of these are like Tau Forge, and if they are, they're yeah, none of these are Tau Forge. Yeah. I use Mag. I use the Fenmore. The Latum is basically just like a Fenmore backup. But this is the build. No subsumes on Mag. Probably the most important part of this build would be Arcane Nullifier, because there are enemies that do have magnetic procs, and the boss itself has like a magnetic proc if he hits you, and also silence effect. Arcane Energize just to get extra energy, and good thing about this is I don't have a max rank one, so I don't have to worry about like even a rank 1 or an unranked one's really good. And because of the event, you can actually get some of these. So I think it's about 3 runs to get you one of these on Steel Path. So nothing too crazy in terms of build, just max efficiency so I can use energy, a little bit of range, just enough strength to have a full strip on Fracturing Crush, and I think it also does a damage, yeah, to get more damage on Polarize. Um, the thing is I'm using Counter Pulse. It does work on Necromax and some of the Murmur enemies where they just stop working, so that's really good. And then Fracturing Crush is for Armor Strip, because I'm not sourcing it from anywhere else. I'm not using like Unairu or something, or I'm not using like a cat with sharpening claws. So this will be my armor strip. For the Fenmore, this is the build. Literally just a ton of radiation, some base damage here, because during the boss fight, there's not a lot of ads to kill, at least during the first phase. Deadhead just for the recoil reduction and the extra headshot multiplier. Again, just fire rate, galvanized aptitude, and chamber. That's more for like when I'm mobbing with this thing, but not necessary. Just again, just a crap ton of radiation. I do have the new mod too that also gets reload speed, which does affect the Incarnon switching thing, so that's pretty good. In terms of evolutions, I chose fire rate, magazine capacity. This only affects the non-Incarnon form. You know, less critical chance because of devouring attrition, so that's why. You could use I also have a Furlax with the and I have a mirror mod that makes it like minus what you call it, minus crit chance. But I just find the Fenmore is just a lot easier to use and not to worry like as much, because with the Furlax, I don't know, I feel like I run into ammo issues. The Latum's not even built yet, but if I were to build this, I'd use like a an old-fashioned build where you have your your front-loaded your damage mods and radiation, and then have like a little arcane for extra damage. But that's essentially it. If you're wondering the Latum stuff, it's this. For focus schools, I use Madurai. I was going to use Zenurk because Zenurk's temporal drag thing does work on the boss, which slows him down and gives that extra headshot multiplier. I just like Madurai because it helps dealing, makes it easier to deal with the Angel faster, because I can just use Void Strike. My companion, I'm using a Panzer just for the mobbing section, like when I'm getting the eyes, not for like the boss fight itself, because it's pretty useless there. But that's the build. Oh yeah, operator stuff. Anyways, for operator arcanes, I believe this is a 777. Let me see. Yeah, I think Surge is like this would be considered a 777. It's just the beam amp. That's pretty much it. Magus Elevate for extra health regen. Lockdown, because it's just useful. Eradicate. Yeah, it's easy when I use an ability, just plus damage. And then Virtuous Strike, because, get crit damage. Because I already have a pretty good crit chance, so. That's it. This is way better amps, way better builds, but this is what I use. I think my fastest run has been 11 minutes. So, it's better. I've tried all kinds of frames. I've tried, like, Nova, like, Clervo, Dagoff. I just like using Mag, I don't know. But anyways, we're on Steel Path 2. So I've had like probably 2 variations. There's one where the Void Angel's close to you, and one where it's really far away. My advice is just do the eyes and then go for the Void Angel. Don't go out of your way to get the Void Angel. So let's see. I think in this situation, I think the Void Angel is close.
Gargoyle in your dojo has a blind spot.
Also, try to do 2 Vitruvian Eyes. Like, try to get 2 of them active at a time, so you just always have something like working. As you can see, it's disabling them. These do despawn. I've noticed like little battery things you put into these Vitruvians, so I just like to grab them.
Boggling eye as it searches.
Is there another one around here? Okay, in this case, there's not two here, so I'm just gonna do one. I know I just want to get my own advice, but that's what I'm doing. And yeah, essentially, just do it like normal. Apparently you get more progress if you kill these guys inside the aura here. But as you can tell, with Arcane Energize and that energy effectiveness orb, I really don't have to run generic, and because of the Arcane Nullifier, magnetic procs don't exist for me. In terms of like tankiness, I have adaptation on. Polarize, her 3 will just reset your shield gate anyways, and I can just use Fracturing Crush to just give me shields right there and kill off. But that's pretty much it. That's all I do. Pull people in, kill them. You know, use Magnetize to kill them. That's pretty much the entire thing. Cast Polarize every so often to stop things from trying to shoot at me. Again, I can either use my 3 or my 4 to a shield gate. I want to see the 4 is a little bit faster because you get like a chunk of shields the moment you cast it, so that's pretty good. I believe the Murmur are weak to radiation and electric, so that's why, you know, I mean the Bemor just does a lot of damage, but it's modded for radiation. Again, I've tried other kinds of weapons like, you know, my burst and all the other crap. It's because of this damage attenuation that the boss has that it's what you call it? I use like a fast fire weapon, so it's something like a heck. I don't know if you can like do like the one-shot things with Archons, like you could, like, you know, you just get a Kuba heck and use the alt fire with a bunch of multi-shot and front load it. I don't know if that's even possible, but from what I've seen, no one's done it yet, so I'm assuming it isn't. I'm gonna go grab a second one. I'm just casting that just in case something tries to hurt, you know, shoot at me. The thing is, when you leave your warframe and your operator, you can still actually get damaged, and your warframe and you can get pulled back into your warframe. So that's why I try to be quick when I do this. But now we're doing 2, so even if one gets kind of blocked up, we still have the other one working in the background. Also, with the enemies on the walls that are blocking the eyes, if you use certain abilities like Fool or something, like a CC ability, sometimes they'll just fall off and the eyes will like spawn in a weird spot, so just be mindful of that. I've tried Titania for this too, and again, like I've run into this issue where it's either I have a good mobbing setup but not a good like damage with a boss, or vice versa. Like I don't know, with Mag I don't have really any issues with the Void Angel. Also could, you know, literally be a skill issue, but I don't think Mag is by any means the best. It's just what I find the most comfortable. Like, again, I just press my 3, turn enemies off, or I can just use my 4 to make them stop moving for a bit. He gets a shield. Magnetize just use to kill anything that's like high threat. Like, oh, like this Blitz Eximus. Goodbye. He actually lives. Also, it's kind of easy to build Incarnon too with Magnetize, because for some reason it just hits headshots on these enemies. Magnetize still has this weird bug that's been in the game since like forever, or at least as far as I can tell, ever since you got the rework, where if you try to use Magnetize after a pool, it doesn't work sometimes. I don't know what that's about. I'm gonna go grab a second one here, because I think there's 2. This is also another reason why I said don't go your way to kill the Void Angel, because you see all the Vitruvian things we were able to get. You know, if we were just to go off the fucking Angel, we really know to try to backtrack through all this crap. If there is a Necromech, I tend to ignore it because I can't kill it, or if I do, it's not like enough. Oh god, so many eyes. Probably should have been doing this with the operator, honestly. Ah, it's too slow. You could also get some parkour shards or any like parkour like arcane consequence or something. Also, I didn't bring a melee with me, and honestly, that's like to get better affinity on my Latum. I really don't use melee that much if I do like a heavy attack build. That's why I used to love the old Dinosaur because it's just a utility melee. I guess maybe bring the ceramic dagger or something, and then like maybe I don't know, give secondary outburst. Like those options for melees. I just personally don't use them that much. The only time I use a melee like for air control, like right now I can't slam down, and that's because I don't have the melee on me. Anyways, that was pretty quick eyes, at least for what I'm used to. So we're just gonna go and fight the Void Angel. The Void Angel's like a lot of other bosses where if you keep casting a Warframe ability, they eventually become resistant to it. So it's best to try to kill them as fast as possible. But the great thing though is that Mag's Polarize keeps them armor stripped, and Magnetize lasts long enough for a lot of damage to go off. So just gonna wait.
Before my miscalculation takes effect and draws the attention of the murderer.
Also, it takes a bit for these Void Angels to spawn in. I don't know what's that about. Anyways, so what we're gonna do here is armor strip, cast Magnetize, and then go to town. Oh, it's getting it's one of those weird things giving it overguard, but I'm trying to punch through it anyways, because yeah. Magnetize plus punch through is just that good. Anyways, let's do this. And this is why I bought, this is like the sole reason why I brought Madurai, because my amp is not really good for killing Void Angels, because the beam, I have like range issues. I'm gonna pull everything in and then cast that, and then do it again. If you really wanted to, you could just wait for like Void Strike or something, but also, I like to wait here to get that like red thing because it actually heals the Void Angel and let it do its thing. That's pretty much it. I could Void Strike like as soon as I get out, but I think it's gonna be overkill because you know Fenmore stuff. This, Magnetize, and we're done. Like I said, very straightforward. Also, yeah, you see that guy with that that blue crap? That's all magnetic. That's why I like running Arcane. No, Nullifier, Arcane. I think that's what it's called. I forgot the name of it. But yeah, because I run that, I don't have to worry about like any like enemy thing hurting me. Now, what I actually like to do too is actually start pre-stacking my Incarnon stuff. So, like for instance, I'll just reset this. Yep. If I can actually aim. Alright, cool, and switch to the Latum. Latum isn't as strong as my Fenmore because it's not modded, but it's nice to have it. So then swap to this, swap to that, and we're good. I've noticed with this boss too, because of the way damage attenuation works and the way the Fenmore works, is that the longer you fire the Fenmore, like it gets a reduced fire rate. Like it gets a really fast like burst as soon as you start, and then it slows down. I don't know if it's just better to like kind of like burst it like that every so often, or just to hold down the fire rate button. I just hold it down because I'm lazy. And again, during this boss fight, at least for the first fight, there's not a lot of ads. You have to dodge. Like, I mean, obviously for this part, I mean, you just do this, and like that just like hurts them a lot. But for the actual boss, again, what I do is, if I do get hit, I will be silenced and nullify, or I won't get the magnetic proc because the arcane nullifier, or whatever. But I just cast my 3. Just to regain shield gate. For like, as far as I can tell, there's not a lot of, or I don't think there's any Warframe ability that really does affect the boss. You might see me try to cast Magnetize, but that's just to magnetize something near the boss during the second phase. So when it does like pop, it does like extra damage. But that's pretty much it. This entire boss fight, just like shoot at the thing and run around. Like you see, like it has a burst and then chilled out for a second. I don't know. Yeah, those arms there are like proc slash and stuff. So yeah, just pretty much just keep jumping around. That's pretty much it. I got hit there, so cast that to reset shield gate. Just keep going. And when I'm out of Fenmore, I'll just switch over to unless he does that, which makes it easy because the orbs here are his headshot, so you can just easily just do that. Just do that. I could use Void Strike here too. I don't know, man. Damage attenuation's weird. Just watch out for those arms there. That's pretty much it. I know if he does a laser beam, he can like aim it so it hits him. But yeah, that's pretty much the first phase. Second phase, a little more involved. He does a little, like, sometimes he does different attacks. He spawns enemies, which can be good for you if you go down, you know, and just use last grass and shit. And then I'm gonna try to, like, magnetize something near him, but no. Yeah, like that. I try to pull him into that so he gets extra damage. And then if it pops, it should do good damage. Didn't do much, I think. Yeah, right now this Latum isn't really doing jack, because I'm using a crit Latum here, and, what you call it, I do not have any fire rate on here, and if I do, it's probably just lethal cartridge. I usually run, like, an even agility on my build, just for extra fire rate. I went down here, but hey, look, we have this, so we can just get our, just get back up. This is the reason why I picked Madurai. Naru wouldn't be the worst here either, but there's not really anything to armor strip here, so I feel like Caustic Strike, and Magnetic Flare is useless here too, unless there's like something here that's classified as a shield. Yeah, that's pretty much the boss fight. Well, I think he went underground. He's gonna die as soon as he comes up. I don't know if they fixed it, but the things he drops with the arcane, they don't get like pulled in by vacuum, so you have to manually pick. Okay, they do now. Cause no, they don't. They don't. Okay, those grotesque splinters, yeah, they didn't get pulled in. I don't know why that's a thing, but it's very important to remember that the things you want to buy the arcanes, the grotesque splinters, are not vacuumable for whatever reason. So just make sure you pick it up. I'm sure I've lost out on some splinters because I just didn't wasn't paying attention. In terms of how many I get, the lowest I've ever gotten was 3, and the most I've ever gotten would be 5, and I think I just got 5 right now. I don't know if you can actually get 6 in one run, but or maybe I just missed some splinters and like, you know, slow it down. You see me miss like 1, it's actually 6, but essentially each rare arcane or whatever the hell, legendary arcane, like energized barrier, grace, those are 12 grotesque splinters, so about 3 runs if you're super unlucky. And in this case, like maybe 2 runs if I get lucky. But that's pretty much it. 13 minutes, a little bit slower, but that's it. That's everything. I'll go over the stuff one more time, but again, not the fastest way. I'm not saying this is the best way. It's just a way I like to do it, and it's pretty low stress. I don't have to. Again, you don't see me managing like 18 different timers. All I do is press 3 and 4 every so often when my shield gets low, and I just shoot shit to defend more. So yeah, just to go over it again, this is the mag build. No subsumes. Yeah, nullifier, very important, just to resist magnetic, and then energize helps out. Fracturing Crush just for armor strip and more CC. This also disables the necromech enemies and resets shield gate. Again, just enough power strength to get that up to full strip. And then yeah, that's pretty much range for like pull and magnetize. You could run magnetized discharge if you want, but again, magnetize doesn't really work for the boss. And again, as you saw before, it's fine. If you didn't have any Archon shards, it might be a little bit worse because you have less duration and you wouldn't have the extra energy. But I think an Energize would be enough anyways. The casting speed is just a quality of life thing. I mean, this is mostly for her 4, but because of the change they did over the Fracturing Crush augment actually gives you casting speed. It's not necessary. Energy max, again, not necessary because I'm not running Prime Flow. Again, this is just basically a mini Energize. If you have an Energize or just have any Ember shards.
Are not laughing at
Thank you,
my
Ordis.
jokes.
I always regret not turning you off. But anyways,
To my humor?
Crimson Charge is for extra duration. Again, none of these I don't think are super necessary. This is basically like a mini flow here. That's all. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And thanks for watching.